everybody, SonGoshuaku here, ready to give you my ranking of every Royal Rumble match for 2025. As you can see, I was there live at the event, ready to tell you how these matches rank for me in terms of being there in person. Alright, so we kick off with number 4, DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns. Like I said in my review, this match was really good in terms of in-ring action. It definitely had all that. The match could have been a little bit longer if you're going to do 2 out of 3 falls on a 4-hour show, but overall, the match in-ring stuff, like I said, it carried it. It was fine. Doing like 2 wins apiece and then having DIY pick it up through a tainted win due to the involvement of the Street Profits, who were massively over because man, fans clearly want to see the Street Profits get that win back into the tag title picture. I'm the same way, especially if they're not planning to do any singles runs with them anytime soon. As I mentioned in my review, this match unfortunately I think did get harmed by having to follow the Women's Royal Rumble, because you're knowing a Rumble match, you're gonna have surprises, you're gonna have these big moments that evoke a lot of emotion out of the WWE audience, and that's why I saw people going to the concession stand, saw people going to the taking bathroom breaks and everything like that. They were doing all of that during this match. The crowd heat was down, people were trying to conserve their energy. I nearly lost my voice. I was trying to conserve my voice, so like I said, I was going from yeah to yay, woo, you know, basically to try and maintain my voice for the rest of the show, because I knew I still had a big men's Royal Rumble match to go through. Yeah, like I say, well, the match was okay and everything. It wasn't bad. There was no bad match on the show. It was only a 4-match card anyway. That being said, I couldn't help but put this at the lowest entry. By far, this is the reason why I always say I rank these from least to best, not worst to best, because this match was not bad by any means, but it just, to me, I don't think had enough to stand out among the WWE Championship match and the 2 Royal Rumble matches. So DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns, 2 out of 3 falls, for me, has to be number 4 as the least ranking match of WWE Royal Rumble 2025. Alright, coming in at number 3, the Women's Royal Rumble match. Alright, so, man, so many great fun moments in this Royal Rumble match. Bianca Belair, like I said, she was on fire with her performance. The huge pop that Trish Stratus got. The returning Alexa Bliss, who got the biggest pop of them all. Man, there was so much great fun in this match. We got to see so many great NXT talent. Stephanie Vaquer, Julia. We got to see, who else in this match? Roxanne Perez go all the way and break the all-time record for the longest appearance in a Royal Rumble match, going to the top final 2. Even Charlotte Flair, like I said, got a big pop and everything. Nia Jax was used well as a monster. I wish it would have been more dramatic in the end, and I think that's why I had to take this thing down. The Women's Royal Rumble was fun, but I just felt there was nothing really about that final, when it came down to the final 2 and just the way they executed Charlotte Flair winning. I gotta bring it down, basically. It's better than what I thought about the 4th ranking on this list, but yeah, this ending was kind of very anticlimactic. You didn't have this big face-off of Charlotte Flair hanging it up there with Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, and I think that's only because WWE clearly knew that these women were going to get bigger reactions than even Charlotte Flair, and they did not want to hang with that. So let's have Nia dump out everyone's favorites and then have it come down where Nia gets eliminated, gets a big pop, and then I guess they felt safe with Roxanne Perez because most of the main roster WWE audience is not yet familiar with Roxanne Perez, so you end up getting that there. Overall though, it was still fun. Like I said, it was my first ever Royal Rumble match I saw in person, and it was a blast. Stratus. It was great to see Trish Stratus, 25 years that she had been around in WWE, both as a full-timer and part-timer, and I finally got to see Trish Stratus wrestle in person. That was fantastic. So yeah, a lot of great fun moments, but unfortunately the ending took it down. Not so much because Charlotte Flair won. I expected her or Bianca Belair to be the ones to win this match. I knew we were going to get, they were the only two in this one that were former Royal Rumble winners, and I thought they were the only two that had a big shot, because you got to imagine they're heading towards a Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair match and a Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair match, hopefully. So yeah, I knew Charlotte Flair was going to most likely win, but I wish they would have been more dramatic about that. And that being said too, as well, I think a lot of people are still are hating. They think that it's going to go the same route it went with Bianca Belair, or with Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, because when Rhea Ripley lost that match, it took a long time for her to recover, and then she finally got her win back against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39. And I think that's what people are thinking. Is this being done to put Tiffany Stratton on a higher level, or bring her down to make Charlotte Flair look good? We shall see. Hopefully this is being used as Tiffany Stratton to go over the main established star that's been over right now for 10 years, and this is going to be used to help make her, as she is the future. And I will say this too, even looking back on Rhea Ripley, even if she did beat Charlotte Flair, I look at it and it's like, I don't know if her character work was on par compared to where it is now. Like, sure, she would have been able to give us good matches, but would she really have connected with the audience the way she does now? So by it taking a while, and I thought they could have done more with Rhea Ripley eventually joining the Judgment Day and developing that character was huge for her, and she did get the win, and she did feel like she was on a whole other level when she did beat Charlotte Flair. And then after that, if you look at Rhea Ripley's whole, entire character, the whole entire, if you look at Rhea Ripley's whole time as champion, a lot of people complain that WWE did not build up enough stars to be credible for her, and she didn't defend the title as much, but people still loved her reign because she was carried by her character work. I don't think if you give her that type of title reign, I don't think her character work was enough to cover it back then. So perhaps maybe WWE did make the right decision having Charlotte Flair go over at that particular time, because now Rhea Ripley is able to have that better character work. So kind of looking back on it, but does that mean I want to see it again? No, I do hope Tiffany Stratton is going over at WrestleMania 41 over Charlotte Flair. And if she doesn't, it is what it is. You all know what to expect from the past 10 years of how Charlotte Flair has been booked. But nonetheless, a fun Women's Royal Rumble match that I think was only really hurt by not having a more dramatic end, even with Charlotte Flair going over. Take a sip of water here. All right, number 2, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Wow, like I said in my review, what a match. This was hard-hitting and brutal, and what I loved about this match, it just had that realism feel to it. It felt like, okay, we're not out here to do a bunch of crazy moves off the ladder and ooh and ah the crowd. We're out here to beat the holy crap out of each other with these ladders, and we're only going to climb up that ladder once the other is left incapacitated. So yeah, that's what I really like. Nothing that's anything wrong with those ladder matches, but the story didn't fit that type of ladder match for the story that had been told by these two, and boy, it was brutal. Like I said, Cody Rhodes landing awkwardly on ladders, especially, man, that when he was got to do that superplex to Kevin Owens, and then Kevin Owens does a twisting suplex turn off the top rope onto the edge of that ladder. Brutal stuff. Oh man, this thing, they took a lot of brutal punishment. Like I said, it was one of those matches where the audience just being there in person, it wasn't so much about the ooh, or it wasn't so much about the yay, it was more about the ooh, ah, like that was what was going on a lot, man. Just being there in person, afterwards, to seeing the human body bounce off the steel ladders was crazy. And that's exactly what we get here with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. And like you see there, for those watching the horizontal version of this video, just the way Kevin Owens landed head first into that ladder, he sold it like death when Cody Rhodes reversed it from the package pile driver into the Alabama Slammer, giving a nod to his first mentor in the WWE storylines, Hardcore Holly, who was also probably one of his first mentors, also probably backstage as well, being that he was a veteran at the time. That was really cool, and I just love how Cody Rhodes had that angry look on his face, climbed up the ladder, grabbed both titles, and there you go. That Wing Eagle title looks amazing, by the way, compared to the new WWE Championship, but that new WWE title's heavy as heck, man. My boy, the man 0001, who you saw in the image right there early on when we attended, he had 4 of the titles with him, and that was one of them. Man, those new titles are heavy. But yeah, it was really cool to see. And what was really awesome, like I said at the end, I love Cody Rhodes being that defiant babyface, showing he's not going to take crap from anybody. The way Sami Zayn was utilized in this, which played perfectly into the next night of Monday Night Raw, where Kevin Owens, like, you know, he clearly beat up Sami because he thought Sami would have his back, but Sami played it neutral. He wasn't going to interfere and everything. He showed up in the match, but he didn't interfere. I thought that was really cool. I just wish Kevin Owens would have been out a little bit longer to sell the impact of that spot you see right there in the horizontal version of this video, but hey, it is what it is. But overall, man, this was fantastic, and I think from top to bottom, I got more enjoyment out of this than the Women's Royal Rumble match, because like I said, the Women's Royal Rumble match, it had some great moments, had some really cool, you know, huge pops and everything, but I thought the ending could have been a little bit more dramatic. But what I must say here, though, that was cool is that Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens went out there, had a brutal ladder match. You got blood, and if there's any time to have blood, you do it in a story like this, and that's what this match definitely delivered on. So much props to Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. To me, easily the second best match of the night. All right, our number 1, the Men's Royal Rumble match. Wow, there was nothing on this show, as good as the other 3 matches were, there was nothing on the show that I think got more emotion out of me, especially being there in person, than this match. I mean, just look at that right there. CM Punk, John Cena, and Roman Reigns. Their standoff, huge reaction. The fact that you had CM Punk, John Cena, and Seth Rollins all coming out one after the other. Man, huge popping reaction. Joe Hendry had a huge ovation. The IShowSpeed moment, tremendous. Like I said, that guy gets a lot of respect from me to not be a pro wrestler and get in there doing an impressive backflip, because I know he is pretty athletic in those ways. But man, the spear he took from Braun Breaker, the fallaway slam onto the announce table that he took from Otis, and how he lost a good chunk of his skin on his leg. Man, he's a game. He was all game and really went out of his way to help make the WWE superstars look impressive on their product, the WWE show, as they will be the ones that will be there the following night. So I can't help but have respect for that. And man, there was so many good stuff. Jey Uso coming out to a huge pop. Seeing him in LA Knight going back and forth. Yeah, yeet, yeah, yeet, yeah, yeet was great. Fantastic. Just the surrealness of someone who's gone to WWE events when it was all about let's go Cena, Cena sucks, let's go Cena, Cena sucks, to now everybody's just cheering for Cena and singing his music. Great stuff. As I mentioned in my review, I have never experienced in person such a huge high and low when CM Punk dumps out Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, eliminating them from the Royal Rumble, and I'm like, like, yes, CM Punk's got this. And then seeing Logan Paul toss CM Punk out and me going like, no, and getting me to legitimately boo Logan Paul. Boo, man. I never experienced such a, like I said, a huge high and a huge low when it comes to the Royal Rumble, or I mean, when it comes to WWE events at all, man. So that was just so fun, and just the way they strategically played it. Like in the Women's Royal Rumble, clearly they were using Nia Jax to get everybody out, and then Charlotte Flair will eliminate her and get the big ovation. Here I'm thinking, okay, Logan Paul's the same way. Get Logan Paul, eliminate all your favorites, and then John Cena will eliminate him, and that did happen. But man, we got down to Jey Uso and John Cena in the Royal Rumble, and I was like, oh, there's a chance they might do it. And when John Cena got him up for the AA, and you had Jey Uso get behind him and push him, I guess I was the first one to react in my section. I was like, yeah, woo, and I was like, just me, Oos, day one is just me, Oos, doing the whole yeeting and stuff like that, man. That was fantastically fun, and there was so much love and just respect for Jey Uso. Like Big E said during the post show, which we actually passed by on our way out of the stadium, it is so hard in WWE to break away as a tag team wrestler, and when you're able to do that as successfully as Jey Uso done, that's impressive. And there was a lot of hate online, people thinking Jey Uso's not ready, he's not a main eventer, he's just an entrance. But I want to give a shout out to my boy SMP 2390. He still might be in the chat. I think he put it best. He was telling us on the ride home as we were coming back from Indianapolis to the Chicago area. He was saying that when it comes to music, it only takes sometimes the most simplest of notes to create a great music masterpiece. Jey Uso, yeah, he doesn't have the most versatile move set, but you know what? The little that he does, great entrance, great catchphrase, great charisma in terms of when he speaks and how he dresses, it's enough to make a connection with that audience, and it has been enough for the last 2 years. I was there in SummerSlam 2023 when he first started doing the whole yeeting thing, and fans were behind him. 2 years later, they're even more behind him than they have been before. So, as I was saying, they're more behind him than they ever have been before. And so I think it's fantastic that Jey Uso has been able to stay that over, and it means a lot there to see it too. And it's, as I mentioned, if you watch 20 Teens WWE, you know how often there were women and men getting over and clicking all metrics of business, and WWE just would not push them, whether it be just because Vince McMahon didn't want to push them. You know, we've seen that. But here, Triple H sees that, okay, Jey Uso is over, and we're going to go ahead and push him. Do I think putting him in a losing effort, losing it's clean as a whistle with Gunther was a good decision? I think if you're trying to make that match mean more, you just have him go at it at WrestleMania and do that match, but they didn't. Overall, though, still, this was a fun men's Royal Rumble match. Like I said, so many good stuff. Jacob fought two. Braun Breaker all had great showings. Braun Breaker getting the spear on Roman Reigns was also great, and Roman eliminated him in the same style that Batista eliminated him in the 2014 Royal Rumble. Doing it again here in 2025. Seeing how over Roman Reigns is compared to his first Royal Rumble. I also forgot to mention they broke in my review. I forgot to mention they broke a record with Roman Reigns. If you have noticed, Roman Reigns, to the exception of the 2015 Royal Rumble, anytime he was eliminated by someone in all the other Royal Rumbles that he participated in from 2016 up to about probably 2018, he was always eliminated by the person who would eventually go on to win the Royal Rumble. And clearly, as we can see here, CM Punk did not go on to win the Royal Rumble. It definitely created a lot of questions heading into WrestleMania. It looks like we're headed towards a triple threat match with Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. and everything with the way they ended that. So yeah, like I said, there's just so many great moments in this Royal Rumble. I didn't expect Jacob Fatu to get eliminated by Braun Strowman. Yeah, we got Joe Hendry, TNA history, first ever time a TNA World Heavyweight Champion, still under contract with TNA, goes into a WWE match. It didn't last long, unfortunately, but I became a believer in Joe Hendry, having that being my first time I've ever seen him. So that was great as well. So overall, man, the men's Royal Rumble match was just really fantastic, and I really have to say I definitely enjoyed, and I'm glad Jey Uso is getting rightfully has earned this moment. Yeet, he definitely has to get to this moment, and we'll see if it ends up main eventing WrestleMania. Now, if you would like more in-depth thoughts of my live perspective of attending the event, click the video link of my WWE Royal Rumble 2025 review right there on the screen. Also, please let me know in the comment section how you would rank these matches from least to best.